Sleep may look like simple rest from the outside, but inside the brain, something extraordinary happens every single night. While you sleep, the brain repairs itself, organizes memories, balances emotions, clears toxic waste, restores energy, and protects vital functions that keep you alive. Now imagine what happens when that process disappears. One night without sleep may seem harmless, but chronic sleep deprivation slowly begins damaging the brain in ways that are far more dangerous than most people realize. And the terrifying part is this: millions of people are already living with severe sleep deprivation every single day without understanding what it may be doing to their brains. Today, we're going to explore how lack of sleep affects the human brain, why sleep is absolutely essential for survival, and how chronic insomnia may slowly destroy memory, concentration, emotions, and even long-term brain health. Stay until the end, because scientists discovered that the brain literally struggles to clean itself properly without sleep. Let's begin. The human brain never truly rests. Even during sleep, it remains extremely active. But sleep is not wasted time. It is one of the most important biological processes for survival. During sleep, the brain performs critical maintenance and repair functions. Memories are organized. Information is processed. Hormones balance. Neural connections recover. And toxic waste products are removed from brain tissue. Without enough sleep, these systems begin failing surprisingly fast. Now let's talk about what happens after just one night of poor sleep. The brain immediately begins functioning differently. Reaction speed slows down. Concentration weakens. Memory becomes less reliable. Decision-making worsens. Emotional control becomes harder. People often become more irritable, anxious, or emotionally sensitive after poor sleep. This happens because the brain areas responsible for emotional regulation begin struggling to function properly. At the same time, stress response systems become more active. Now here's something frightening. Research suggests staying awake for around 24 hours may impair the brain similarly to alcohol intoxication. Reaction time decreases significantly. Judgment becomes weaker. Attention drops. And the risk of accidents rises dramatically. This is why sleep deprivation while driving can become extremely dangerous. Now let's discuss memory. One of sleep's most important jobs is organizing and strengthening memories. During certain sleep stages, especially deep sleep and REM sleep, the brain transfers information into longer-term storage. Without proper sleep, the brain struggles to store and retrieve information correctly. This is why students who stay awake all night studying often perform worse than expected. The brain simply cannot process information efficiently without sleep. Now, here's something even more serious. Long-term sleep deprivation may physically affect brain structure itself. Scientists discovered that chronic lack of sleep may damage neurons and increase inflammation inside the brain. Certain areas connected to learning, decision-making, and emotional control become less efficient over time. Now let's talk about toxic waste. One of the most incredible discoveries in neuroscience involves the brain's cleaning system. During sleep, a special waste removal process becomes much more active. Scientists sometimes compare it to a cleaning crew working overnight. This system helps remove harmful waste products and proteins that build up during the day. Without proper sleep, these waste products may accumulate more easily. Researchers believe this process may be connected to long-term brain diseases involving memory decline. Now let's discuss attention and focus. People who sleep poorly often struggle to concentrate. Simple tasks become harder. Mental fog appears. The brain becomes slower and less efficient. Modern life already overloads the brain with constant stimulation, notifications, stress, and information. Sleep deprivation makes this overload far worse. Now here's something many people don't realize. Sleep strongly affects emotional stability. The brain becomes much more reactive when sleep deprived. Small problems may feel overwhelming. Stress becomes harder to control. Anxiety often increases. Depression risk may rise significantly as well. Some scientists believe poor sleep and mental health problems are deeply connected in both directions. Poor sleep worsens emotional health, and emotional stress worsens sleep. This creates a dangerous cycle. Now let's talk about hallucinations. Severe sleep deprivation may eventually cause the brain to struggle, separating reality from imagination. After enough time without sleep, people may see shadows, hear sounds, or experience paranoia and confusion. Why does this happen? And because certain brain systems begin malfunctioning from exhaustion. The brain becomes desperate for recovery. Some areas may even briefly shut down in moments called microsleeps. These are tiny episodes where parts of the brain temporarily enter sleep for a few seconds, even while the person appears awake. Now, here's something terrifying. Chronic insomnia may affect long-term brain aging. Some research suggests poor sleep may increase the risk of cognitive decline later in life. Memory problems, slower thinking, and reduced mental flexibility may all worsen over time when sleep deprivation becomes chronic. Now let's discuss the body's stress systems. When people don't sleep enough, cortisol levels often rise. Cortisol is one of the body's major stress hormones. High cortisol over long periods may damage memory systems, increase inflammation, and strain the nervous system. This is one reason chronically sleep-deprived individuals often feel physically and emotionally exhausted. Now here's another shocking fact. The brain uses enormous amounts of energy, and sleep helps restore that energy balance. Without proper rest, brain cells become less efficient and communication between neurons becomes weaker. This may affect creativity, learning, focus, reaction speed, and problem-solving ability. Now let's talk about REM sleep. REM sleep is the stage most strongly connected to dreaming. But REM sleep also helps emotional processing and memory regulation. Without enough REM sleep, emotional balance becomes much harder to maintain. People may become emotionally unstable, anxious, or mentally drained much faster. Now here's something modern society often ignores. Many people think sleeping less means being more productive. But chronic sleep deprivation usually reduces productivity rather than increasing it. The brain becomes slower, less focused, and more error-prone. Poor sleep may even affect social behavior and communication skills. Now let's discuss physical effects connected to the brain. Sleep deprivation weakens the immune system. It increases inflammation. It affects hormones regulating hunger and metabolism. It increases the risk of obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and high blood pressure. The brain and body are deeply connected. When the brain suffers from lack of sleep, the entire body eventually suffers too. Now, let's talk about one rare but terrifying disease: fatal familial insomnia. This rare genetic disorder slowly destroys the brain's ability to sleep. As insomnia worsens, patients develop hallucinations, panic, confusion, neurological damage, and eventually death. This horrifying disease demonstrates something extremely important. Sleep is not optional. The brain absolutely requires it to survive. Now let's discuss possible solutions for better sleep. Keeping a consistent sleep schedule may help regulate the body's internal clock. Reducing screen exposure before bed may improve melatonin production naturally. Blue light from phones and devices strongly affects sleep signals inside the brain. Exercise may improve sleep quality significantly. A cool, dark, quiet room often supports deeper rest. Avoiding excessive caffeine late in the day may also help. Stress management is equally important because anxiety and racing thoughts commonly interfere with sleep quality. Now let's quickly review what sleep deprivation may do to the brain. Damage memory, reduce concentration, slow reaction speed, increase emotional instability, raise stress hormones, increase inflammation, cause hallucinations, reduce learning ability, and potentially contribute to long-term cognitive decline. The brain is one of the most complex and powerful structures in the universe, but it depends heavily on sleep to survive and function properly. And perhaps the most important thing to remember is this: sleep is not weakness. It is one of the brain's most essential survival mechanisms. Every night, your brain desperately needs time to recover, repair, organize, and protect itself. Ignoring sleep for too long may slowly damage the very organ that controls your entire life. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more fascinating science, psychology, and health content explained in a simple and easy way. Protect your sleep, take care of your brain, and we'll see you in the next video.